The golden autumn light filled the New York City skyline, casting long shadows over the tall buildings. On the 50th floor of the Hayes and Partners building, Nathan Hayes, the CEO of a top architecture firm, stood by the window in his office, his sad face reflected in the glass, blending with the city outside, like a ghost of his own success. At 37, Nathan had everything he had once wanted: money, power, and respect. People admired him, and his competitors envied him, but deep inside, he felt an emptiness that nothing seemed to fill. As he adjusted his navy tie, a memory from 7 years ago came to his mind: Clare Peterson, her laugh, her smile, and the sweet scent of jasmine perfume. She had disappeared without a word, leaving him with unanswered questions. But today was just another day, or so Nathan thought. His assistant, Erica, knocked lightly on his office door. "Mr. Hayes, the team is waiting. The Eastwood Elementary visit starts in 30 minutes. Nathan turned from the window, hiding his sadness behind the confident attitude he was known for. "I'll be there soon." The Eastwood Elementary School was different from the sleek modern buildings Nathan usually worked on. It was small and worn, but full of life. Laughter from children echoed in the courtyard as he parked his shiny black car. Feeling out of place, Nathan followed the principal, Mr. Ellis, into the yard where kids were playing. Then he saw her. A little girl sat by herself on a bench, absorbed in a book that seemed too big for her small hands. Her wavy chestnut hair framed her face, which looked so familiar that Nathan's breath caught. Her bright green eyes were unmistakable. "She's one of our top students," Mr. Ellis said, noticing Nathan's interest. "That's Sophie Peterson." Sophie. The name hit Nathan like a punch, as if she sensed his gaze. The little girl looked up, and their eyes met. She smiled, and something inside Nathan stirred, something he thought he had forgotten. "Hello," Sophie said, closing her book and walking over to him. Her confidence was surprising for someone so young. "Are you the man who's going to help our school?" Her sweet voice made Nathan's chest tighten, like she had opened a door to something he had kept locked away. Nathan crouched down to her level, his heart beating fast. "Yes, I am. What are you reading?" "The Little Prince," she answered with a bright smile. "My mom says it's about love and responsibility." Love and responsibility. Nathan's throat tightened as memories of Clare flooded back, her laughter, her dreams, and her sudden departure. "Your mom sounds very wise," he said quietly. "She is," Sophie replied proudly. "She works hard to give me everything, even though she's alone." Nathan froze. Alone? Before he could ask more, a voice interrupted. "Sophie, time for class, sweetie." Nathan's world changed. Standing nearby was Clare Peterson. 7 years had passed, but time had only made her more beautiful. Their eyes met, and for a moment, the noisy schoolyard went silent. "Nathan," Clare whispered in shock and disbelief. Sophie ran to her mother, unaware of the tension between the adults. "Mom, this is the man who's helping our school." Clare hugged her daughter, never taking her eyes off Nathan, and that's when Nathan realized Sophie wasn't just Clare's daughter, she was his daughter too. Later that afternoon, Nathan sat in his office, staring blankly at the busy city below. His reflection in the window seemed strange, like he was coming undone. He couldn't stop thinking about the school visit, Sophie Peterson, the little girl with Clare's eyes and his crooked smile. His hand shook as he opened the bottom drawer of his desk and pulled out a photo he had kept hidden for years. It was of Clare, smiling carefree, her wavy chestnut hair blowing in the wind. The edges of the photo were worn from being handled too much. "You left, Clare," Nathan whispered, his voice low in the silence. "Why didn't you tell me?" His mind drifted back to 7 years ago, to the night when everything changed. It had been late, and Nathan had been wrapping up a big deal that would secure his company's future. Clare, his closest friend and colleague, had planned a surprise celebration, but what she hadn't expected was to see Olivia Harris, a rival from another firm, leaning in to kiss Nathan through the conference room's glass door. Nathan had pushed Olivia away immediately, disgusted by her attempt to manipulate him, but Clare had already seen it and walked away, her face filled with betrayal. He didn't realize she had seen the kiss until the next morning, when she disappeared without a word. Nathan searched for her for months, calling friends, hiring investigators, but Clare was gone. Meanwhile, across town, Clare sat at the small table in her cozy apartment, watching Sophie color. The room felt warm and lived in, decorated with photos of Sophie's milestones. Clare's phone buzzed. It was Olivia, her friend since college. "Clare?" Olivia's voice was soft but pointed. "He found her. didn't he? Claire's hand shook as she held the phone. Yes, today, at her school. There was a pause before Olivia spoke again, quieter this time. And what did he say? Nothing, he didn't need to, Claire replied. She looked at Sophie, humming happily, unaware of the tension building. He knows, Liv, I could see it in his eyes. Claire's thoughts raced back to that night, when she had discovered she was pregnant. She had been so excited to share the news with Nathan, only for everything to shatter when she saw that kiss. It broke her trust and sent her running. Mom, can we read The Little Prince again tonight? Sophie's innocent voice pulled Claire from her thoughts. Claire forced a smile. Of course, sweetheart. For 7 years, Claire had given Sophie a stable life, even if it meant giving up everything else, including the love she once thought was unshakable. But now Nathan had found them, and Claire knew she couldn't run forever. That evening, there was a knock on her door. Claire froze. She knew it was Nathan. Mom, someone's at the door, Sophie called from her room. I'll get it, Claire said, quickly smoothing her hands over her jeans, peering through the peephole. Her worst fear was confirmed. Nathan stood there, looking like the polished CEO he was, but his body tense with unanswered questions. Claire, Nathan said when she opened the door, his voice low but firm, we need to talk. Claire hesitated, gripping the door. Now's not a good time, Nathan. It hasn't been a good time for 7 years, he replied, his tone sharp but softening as he added, please. Claire looked toward Sophie's room and stepped aside. 10 minutes, Nathan. The apartment felt cramped with Nathan in the living room. He noticed the photos of Sophie and her toys neatly scattered on the floor. This was a world he had never known. You knew, Nathan said quietly. I saw it in your eyes today, the moment you saw me. Claire crossed her arms, defensive. What do you want, Nathan? What do I want? He laughed bitterly. I want to know why. Why did you leave? Why didn't you tell me I had a daughter? Because you made your choice, Claire snapped, her voice trembling with anger and hurt. Do you know what that night did to me? I trusted you, and then I saw, her voice cracked. I saw you with Olivia Harris. You let her kiss you. Nathan frowned in confusion. Claire, what you saw wasn't what it looked like. Olivia kissed me, but I pushed her away. She was trying to manipulate me into aligning with her for a promotion. I wanted nothing to do with her. Claire shook her head, tears welling up in her eyes. I couldn't take that chance. You were so focused on the company, on building your empire. I was scared telling you about the baby would ruin everything for you, that you'd resent me, or worse, resent her. Nathan stepped closer, his voice softer but firm. You didn't give me a choice, Claire. You ran. I spent months searching for you, calling, looking for any trace of where you'd gone, Nathan said, his voice thick with emotion. Claire's resolve weakened. She looked away, whispering, I thought I was protecting her, protecting both of us. Nathan's gaze fell to a framed photo of Sophie, her green eyes sparkling with happiness. She's my daughter, Claire. I deserve to know her, to be part of her life. Claire paused, feeling the weight of his words. And what happens when your world crashes into hers, Nathan? The business, the media, the scandals? That's not the life I want for her. I won't let that happen. Nathan replied firmly, I'll protect her, and I'll protect you too. You don't have to do this alone anymore. Before Claire could respond, Sophie appeared in the doorway. Mom, Mr. Hayes, why are you arguing? Claire quickly wiped away a tear, crouching down to her daughter's level. We're just talking, sweetheart. It's okay. Nathan knelt beside them, his expression softening as he looked at Sophie. Sorry if we were loud. Your mom and I have a lot to catch up on. Sophie tilted her head curiously. Are you staying for dinner? We're having macaroni and cheese. It's my favorite. Nathan smiled faintly, glancing at Claire, who seemed uncertain. I'd like that, Sophie, if it's okay with your mom. Claire hesitated, searching Nathan's face for sincerity. Finally, she let out a small sigh and nodded. You can stay. As Sophie ran off excitedly, Nathan met Claire's gaze. This isn't over, Claire. I'm not walking away again. Claire turned to follow Sophie, her heart racing. Nathan's words echoed in her mind, full of promises she wasn't sure she was ready to trust. The next morning, Nathan arrived at his office to chaos. Headlines blared, CEO Nathan Hayes' hidden daughter revealed. Photos of Sophie at school, along with wild speculation, flooded the internet. It was a scandal orchestrated by Olivia Harris. Nathan's assistant, Erica, rushed in, panic in her voice. Mr. Hayes, the board is calling an emergency meeting. Olivia's team leaked everything. Nathan clenched his jaw. He had expected this. Olivia's revenge had no limits. Scheduled a meeting. I'll be there. Back at Claire's apartment, the tension was unbearable. Claire scrolled through news articles on her phone, pale-faced. Sophie, unaware of the storm brewing, sat at the table drawing. Mom, can Mr. Hayes come to my school play tomorrow? Sophie asked, hopeful. Claire opened her mouth, but no words came. How could she protect her daughter from all of this? A knock at the door startled them. Claire hesitated before opening it, finding Nathan standing there, exhausted but determined. They've gone too far, Claire, he said, stepping inside. We can't let them control this narrative. Claire shook her head, fear in her voice. Nathan, this is exactly what I was afraid of. The media, the scrutiny. Sophie doesn't deserve this. Nathan knelt beside her, his voice soft but firm. Listen to me. I promise I'll fix this. I'll protect her. I'll protect both of you. Claire met his gaze, looking for any sign of doubt, but there was none. For the first time, she saw not just a CEO, but a father, a man willing to fight for his family. Okay, Claire whispered, her voice trembling. What do we do? Nathan stood tall, his resolve hardening. We stand together. The press conference room at Hayes and Partners was packed. Reporters murmured anxiously as cameras focused on the stage where Nathan Hayes stood, with Claire and Sophie beside him. Thank you for coming, Nathan began, his voice calm but strong. 4 years, my career has been built on integrity and transparency. Today, I won't let lies define my family. He paused, glancing at Sophie, who held Claire's hand tightly. This is Sophie, Nathan continued, his voice tender. She's my daughter, and the truth is, I didn't know about her until recently. Claire Peterson, the woman I love, the woman who sacrificed everything to protect our child, made a choice she thought was best. I understand that choice, even if it cost us time we'll never get back. But today, Nathan's voice grew firmer. I choose to fight for my family, for Sophie and for the future we all deserve. A gasp rippled through the room as Nathan turned to Claire. But today, I'm choosing to fight for my family. Claire met his gaze, her eyes filled with tears. In that moment, the years of hurt and misunderstanding seemed to melt away, replaced by something stronger, hope. The next afternoon, Sophie's school play took place in the small auditorium. Nathan sat in the front row, beaming with pride as Sophie flawlessly recited her lines. When she finished, Sophie scanned the crowd, her green eyes locking onto Nathan's. Did you see me, Mr. Hayes? She asked, her eyes shining as she ran into his arms. Nathan crouched down, his heart swelling with love. I did, Sophie, and you can call me Dad now. Sophie beamed. I'd like that more than anything. Okay, Dad, she said. Claire watched nearby, smiling through tears as she saw her daughter's joy. In that moment, they weren't a broken family anymore. They were a family starting fresh, stronger than ever. Sometimes, love isn't about perfection. It's about forgiveness, about finding the strength to rebuild what was broken. Nathan and Claire's story shows us that even after years of misunderstanding, second chances can lead to beautiful new beginnings. But what do you think? If you were Claire, would you open your heart to Nathan again? Or would the fear of getting hurt stop you from giving your child the family they deserve? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more emotional and inspiring stories. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.